We're on here on a Grady White. It's got 2 batteries and it needs a battery charger installed. We got a NOCO right here, and this is the hole we're putting it in. Here's one battery, another battery. We're thinking we'll put it right on this wall right here between these 2 filters. Take this wiring off the wall, route it down with this wiring over here and down and across, and then hook it back up. And it should sit perfectly right there. We can take the wires and route it from the charger over to this battery, and the other wires for the charger to this battery right there. And then the plug wire we can just run up and bundle it in with the engine harness or engine wiring and rigging, and run it around here to maybe put the plug right on this wall. Or if it's long enough, run it to that side. We got this white plug right here for this white boat, so it matches the walls and everything. So, like I said, I'm going to take off these wires running down between the 2 fuel water separators and moving it to run in line with the bait well wiring that is running down behind the port separator. Luckily, the connection ends are Deutsch connectors, so it's easy to disconnect and move. Oh man, this is a little bit of a tight hole, but it's not that tight, but it feels pretty tight of a hole to work out of. Ah! I dropped the clip! Look at this. Spare battery mode. I got some other clips right here. One more right here. So I'm going to try and reuse it for some of these other holes. Now let's reroute this one. Route it behind here. Let's see how this charger fits now. Okay. Charger fits. I think it fits perfectly well right here. So now I'm gonna get these ones zip tied. Mark holes for this, and then pre-drill holes, and then put in new screws.
Do me a favor. Can you turn the steering wheel this way?
Which way? That way? That way?
Hold on a second. I don't know what I can do with the bolts. On the way.
Don't worry, he found the missing bolt. It actually wasn't missing, it was just hidden behind some other items. Same thing happens to me later on with some screws that I have floating around. But anyways, after confirming that the charger fits where we want it to go, we can finally finish cleaning up the bilge wiring that we were moving. To secure it, we'll just zip tie it and reconnect everything.
Okay, we're back from lunch. So now I'm gonna try and make a mark for these screw holes on this. Pre-drill some small holes and get some screws to mount it. Oh boy. Oh, that was kind of tough to mark. But we got it marked. Okay, got it in. That was a little tough. The toughest part was trying to find the right position to lay in to install it, but it's in now. So the next step, which is cleaning up the wiring and getting them hooked up, and then testing it, and then getting the plug drilled. Just a little bit more than that, actually.
Marine wiring has a special place in my heart. I really enjoy it and don't have too many issues with it, but it just irks me sometimes for no good reason. The wires are never the correct length, or it just doesn't look right when you bundle them and zip tie them. But it is what it is, and we'll work on it until it's perfect. In which it takes me a few tries to get it to sit the way I want it to sit here, but my main goal was to have it secured so it doesn't move while underway and it blends in with the existing wiring.
Hey Travis, you got the battery disconnected?
Yep. Well, it's connected right now. I just had it off for a little bit.
What's that?
I just had it off for a little bit. It can be turned back on right now.
Okay.
I finally got this first set of wires bundled. After that, I secured it to the wall with some black clips. Here's a picture of what they look like. They work really well, but I'm actually not really a big fan of these clips. In this scenario, it's fine, but if it's wiring that I can envision working on in the future, I would use something else that is easier to take on and off. Finally, we move on to the other side and it goes a lot faster. I just mimic what I did on the other side and it looks great. I said it was tight working in this bilge earlier, but it actually is really spacious and I'm thankful for that. I've seen crazy small bilges that make me question whether the engineers deserve their degrees. And here's one that I saw at a boat show, and isn't it crazy that it's as wide as my hand? There's another boat here in our marina where the bilge pump and the bait well pumps are behind the Seakeeper, and it's not a simple reach behind and fix it. It's a cuss and yell type of reach behind and fix it. If you are enjoying the video or want me to make a video about something specific, drop a comment below. I have a lot of video ideas that I have in the works and would like to share them when they are ready.
Time to cut these zip ties. I like to use these right here. This is a special one from Harbor Freight. It's a Doyle flush cuts, and it has this little black piece so that when you cut, it holds whatever piece you cut so it doesn't go flying wherever, and it gets it nice and flat so you don't have to worry about the sharp edges on a zip tie that'll cut you. So if I cut this one, get nice and close and hold it. See, it holds it instead of flying out. And up. And look, no sharp edges. This one, look at this. This is factory wiring. Look at that tiny piece left. That would cut you right open and give you a real bad bleed on the job. I don't know how long these cutters will last, but they last pretty decently. I've had this one for over a year, but I've probably used it a handful of times because I use my other cutters more often. I have a pair of Kleins that I have in my electrical bag. That one I use a lot more just because it's already in my bag. This one sits in my toolbox and I don't use it as much as I should. They're all cut. I can run my finger across all of them that are our zip ties, not the factory ones, and I will be cut. Okay, got the charger in. Haven't mounted this wire yet. We gotta do that later once we figure out where the owner wants the plug. But there it is, the wiring's running up and around, connects to the battery. The other one ran up and around, connects to the battery. I thought this would be kind of close to this filter, but luckily I got it so that it's not touching it in any sort of way. Okay, we're back on the boat the next day. I got started on a few things and I forgot to record it, but we'll run it back. So right here, we talked to the owner and we were gonna put it here where these pencil lines were, but when you fold this seat right here down, it gets in the way of it, like right here. So if you had the seat down, you wouldn't be able to charge it. And so after walking around the boat with him and talking about a few spots, we took this panel out and checked for spacing behind here, and this is a nice flat spot to put the plug. So we're going to drill a hole through there and then run the wiring from this wall down and wherever this line is going. So following these cables, we looked in the hole, and let me get some light. Looking in the hole, we have a hole in the wall right there. I'm gonna shoot this. That's the fish tape that we have. I ran it down and through that hole, and it comes out of this hole right here. So I'm just gonna pull it on the other side, and this wire will go through over to there. And you can see right here I've already taped it up, and yeah. And there we go. That should be just enough length up there to this wall. And then got more than enough cable here. Probably will cut it right about, let's say, right about here, this long. No, maybe cut it a little longer just so that next room, yeah, we can cut it, let's say, about this long right here. And we can pull the rest through and loop it up inside that compartment, just so that in the future, if ever any of the connections need to be redone, it can be undone the loop and pulled back a little bit. And then this cord right here from the charger is pretty dang long too, so plenty of room there for that. We're prepping to drill this hole right here. We're gonna tape it up real good and then drill it. I guess we don't have to tape it up that much, considering it only takes 2 strips. Let me double check this back side. Yep, we can make that nothing to interfere. Okay. Remark this. Okay. We're centered. And we're through. Okay. We're centered right there. No. It snapped the bit. Well then, that's a big oopsie. There we go, we got our hole. I got a team meeting coming up, so I'll get this cleaned up and we'll try and see how she fits. Well, I can try and see how it fits now. Fits in there just perfectly. A little bit of play. Okay. Got the hole drilled, now we're onto the wiring.
Yeah, we are doing a lineup. Finish your wiring though. Once the team is done splashing this boat, we're going in.
Okay.
Okay, so right here we're going to use ferro rods and crimp off these wire ends. The reason we want to use them is so that when we screw down the clamps on the back side of the plug, we want it to clamp down on something solid. If we just clamp to loose stranded wire, over time it can work its way loose and fall out or have a poor connection. Poor connections equal high resistance and not working properly. Wire falling out equals not working properly. Wire falling out also equals potential fire. I use ferro rods anytime I have to deal with a setup that holds wires with a set screw.
Okay, got those wired. I'm going to now work all the wires through this boot. And there we go. Okay. And there's the 3 wires. This is actually bigger gauge than the other one, which is fine. Okay, so we've already made our hole, wired this up, and so now we're gonna do a test fit and see how she sits in there. And which I've already forgot something. I forgot the rubber. I'm gonna put it on and close it for right now. So I got black to this black one. Pretty straightforward to wire. Green to green. And then white to this clear / silver. I just had 3 screws for this and I lost 2 of them. Okay, time to go look for some screws. Trying to avoid it from having an impact in and out because that's what causes the cracking. So work it in and out, in and out. Trying to see from the inside if the screw reaches through. Kind of does, kind of doesn't. Okay, and that's what she looks like. Okay, now we're gonna wire up this one, the white one that we ran through all the way to the other side, to this cord right here, which is the charger cord. I'm gonna strip this wire back. I like to use a utility knife, my Milwaukee Fastback, but I'll use this instead because it's right here available to me. So what I like to do is when I cut it in half, I'll roll it back like this and I'll tug on it. What I'll do is create this nice rollback effect right there. It'll help to warm it up, create some friction, or get a heat gun. And then just pull. And look at that. You can get a nice cut. It's a lot better and easier to do it with the utility knife to clean it up, but again, this is just the easiest and the most available thing I have to me to do right now. And look at that, nice rollback, and you can write a label right here, and that's it. So we have this stripped back, lay this around there. Now to get this one unsheathed. This one is a little bit more difficult. There we go. These are a lot smaller gauge than I anticipated compared to this one. So let's see what gauge they are. We'll strip them back. They're not a 16 gauge. They look to be about an 18 gauge, maybe a 20 gauge. So let's try 18 right here, and it is an 18. Okay, so we'll need to butt connect these. So we'll take a look at our butt connector kit. And 22 to 16 is our red, and the other one is 14 gauge, which is our blue. So what I'll do is I'll use our special assembled kit right here. This one I got step down connectors or step up connectors depending on how you look at it. This one's got 2 sizes. You got the red and the blue. These ones are yellow and blue, and this one's a red and yellow, but not like the red that we're thinking of, the smaller. It's just a way bigger one, in which these are important. And I'll need 3 of these because we're going to be butt connecting them. I have another dedicated kit right here for our spade connections and speaker connections, and our pigtail or piggyback spade connections, though I hear that these are not spades, these are quick disconnects, in which that could be a more appropriate name for it, but I've always called them spades. And then we got our crimper right here. So what we can do is get these butt connectors on. So red on red, or small gauge on the red. Okay, got that in. I'm gonna crimp it down with the red numbering. And crimp it down tight. A little tug, and she's good to go. I go back and forth between here and over there a lot. Obviously, that's just me being a little all over the place. You don't have to be like that. But, you know, I just had to finish up that side to run the wire and see how much length I needed. And bite the bullet of cutting the hole. And then now I gotta wire this up, zip tie it up, then pull the excess slack of that white one through over there because that's where I wanted the excess. And then, so that's why I'm back over here now, because I got that mounted and I gotta finish this wiring. So, let's get this zip tied up and then butt connect it up. What I'll do now is zip tie them all together, nice and tidy. Okay, that's the final zip tie situation. We got so many zip ties to cut. This could bite us in the future, or not. But yeah, bing, bop, whatever the song is. Oh, that was close. I almost cut my hand wide open on a zip tie. Okay, I think that's everything in this compartment. All this wiring is nice and tight. Shouldn't bounce around too much. It's already to existing tight wiring. The zip tie though is sharp from the factory, so I'm gonna cut theirs nice and flush. Okay, back to over here. We can see that all the excess wiring is now over to here. So let's bundle it up. Alrighty, here is today's aftermath. Got a whole bunch of stuff all over the boat right now. Zip tie clip-ins, all my tools, heat gun, spool wire, more trash, the patch for the battery switches. I got the patch job on that chip, ferro rod kit, and all my other stuff. And so, the cleanup shall begin, and we will be back. Okay, we're back here. Got the plug-in, and we got our patch job right there. Don't know if you can see it. And then got the panel back in. Got the switches on because he's working on the service over there. And let me plug it in to show that it works. Wait, I swear it plugs in. There we go. And charger kicks on right there. Should be flashing red soon on the end. There it is. There. One battery there, one battery there. Nice charger plug. And boat all cleaned up. Some of my tools there. And some screw stuff I'll grab on the way out. And some dust that I can spray out too. But that's it for this charger install. You got anything nice to say?
Yeah. Stay positive. Enjoy the weather while working outdoors, and always remember to use salt away.
And that's it.
That's it.